Zach is America. Today, I'm gonna show you the steps that I took to go through changing out the hardware of the innards of your toilet system. So I use Fluidmaster, all-in-one, universal, changed out everything. This toilet had a bunch of problems. Obviously the toilet needs to be changed out, but if you need a temporary fix, you can go ahead and get the innards changed out yourself. This was the innards, their inner workings, rusty, crusty, dusty, and musty pieces. It was very hard to even get them off. This is the old setup. Got rags and everything to kind of get the water. This is the new system. Now what I'm also going to do is, we got the works. Put that in there. So it's a toilet bowl cleaner with bleach. So these are the tools I had to use. I used this to cut the valve. That was that piece. I didn't have a wrench to tighten the bolt at the bottom, so I used this clamp, the C-clamp. These are the tools I use. And I'm gonna show you the steps that I took, but I wanna make sure that this moment of truth is Maladuni, day before Ja. Alright, so we're looking good. So this is the quick install guide. It's pretty simple. These are the steps. These are the pieces that you're gonna have. They even have a video. It's a 7-minute video that you can just follow along. You can pause it. But this install guide is pretty much just like the video. It's very easy to follow. Even if it's your first time doing it, take your time, make sure you're doing it right. Make sure you don't have any leaks. Make sure your tank level is where you want it to be. Your bowl level is where you want it to be. What I really like about it is how we're changing from a lot of the old, like they don't use the balloon anymore. All right, so what we got here. So we had the fill valve, the flush valve. We got all the nuts and bolts. Turned off the water, you cut off your water line. And you flush it, and you get a rag, you get a towel or whatever to get the excess water. You get a bucket, clean that out. Once you flush, then you remove the connectors, you get the old hardware off. But the thing is, I didn't want to throw away the old hardware right away. I kept it off to the side because I wanted to measure to make sure it's the same size. The new valve is the same size. The lever was the same size. The old lever is actually quite a bit longer, about 2 inches longer, or at least 1.5 inches. But when you do connect it, you just want to make sure it's right above the flapper. But after you disconnect everything, you go ahead and start your process of, I do dry fits all the time. I do a dry fit, make sure everything is looking good, and then I go ahead and continue on with the steps. So yeah, so when installing that lock nut at the base of the tank, I didn't have adjustable pliers, so I ended up using that C clamp, and that got the job done. Make sure you definitely use your rubber washers. I did not do this optional fasten metal washers and thin hex nuts in between the tank and the bowl. I didn't do that part because it can crack ceramic, and I just didn't want to take that chance. This is an old toilet until we get a newer toilet at this location here. So I secured the tank onto the bowl. I had to adjust, definitely had to adjust the height of the valve. I made the measurement, make sure that they were 3 inches from the top of the fill valve cap and top of the overflow pipe, which I had to cut. This is that piece that I had to cut. And that went out in the garage and cut that piece off. So you wanted to make sure that the top of your overflow pipe is about 1 inch below where the lever is. So there, the top of the pipe is about 1 inch below, I know that looks gross, below the lever. Make sure you install the shank washers. So yeah, this was a very, very easy to follow along setup here. I was able to, at first when I got that, so you get your refill tube, when you connect it to the port and the clip, it's a little snug. So I had to like work it in there, work it in there. Then you put your little clamps. You just move and adjust your clamps there. And then you connect your refill clip, that's this guy here, onto your valve. Cause that, through your refill tube, that's what's filling, going into the toilet bowl to fill your bowl. There was no struggle with installing the lever. I saw in the video that you can bend this plastic piece for the lever if you need to kind of shimmy your way into it, but it kind of went in pretty easy. So there was no issues there. Connected the flapper chain, and that was like right to the, directly above the flapper, left a little small J. And then your water supply, connect that back. You don't want to over tighten anything. And then I ran some tests, you know, I did, wanted to make sure that the water level wasn't too high or too low, and it was too low, so I made some adjustments. I did pieces of toilet paper, flushed it. So right here, if you need more water to flush, you go towards the maximum, less water towards the minimum. And so I got mine like just in between max, and I don't want to drop my phone in there, in between max and halfway there. And that seemed to work for now. I can always adjust it later if for some reason it's not working to my liking. But yeah, follow the rest of the steps, did more flushes. Now, if I want to adjust the bowl water, the toilet bowl water level, this guy here, it can adjust. You just kind of like press down and roll it if you want less. And I got it right now, I got it at the max because I wanted more water to flush. And that's okay for me. I think that's all right. But again, if I need to make adjustments, I will. But as of right now, pretty happy, pretty satisfied. There's some troubleshooting if I run into any snags later. So I'll definitely be keeping this handy. But yeah, so that's the lesson for today. I'll let you enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm gonna go back to listening to some more of this Day Before Ja, Mel Dooney. And I'll put the description link to the products that I used. This is not any sponsorship or nothing like that. This is more just, this needed to be done. So if there's anybody out there that need to do this and don't know how to do this, there is videos out there, tutorials. Make sure you look at your quick install guide. Take your time, make sure you do it right, and you'll be okay. Leave a comment, subscribe, check me out, stay tuned, hit that notification bell. Peace.